In this video, I want to talk a little bit about the nervous nature of the market and why I'm slowly starting to pull some of my positions off the table. As you can see, I've pulled out $1,387 today out of the market and closed a bunch of my positions. The reason is I'm getting a little nervous. Now, I haven't pulled out all of my positions. If we come over here to my open positions table, you can still see that I still have a number of positions in. We're still up about $1,400 and I have a number of positions in the market, as you can see. So what we're really trying to do is we're trying to decide at what point we want to take some of these additional positions off the table. But I want to do a little cycle count here on the S&P, and then I'm going to go in and look at Microsoft and Apple. And I want to show you a little trick that you can do to kind of help us identify when it is time to start looking to take profits and look for a pullback. Oftentimes people are looking at these markets, the S&P in particular, saying, oh my gosh, it can't go any higher, it can't go any higher. We see the same thing over here with Apple. We're like, oh my gosh, it can't go any higher, it can't go any higher, and it just keeps going. And then we have Microsoft where it's like, oh, it can't go any higher, it can't go any higher. So let's go and do some cycle counts and some Fibonacci projections, and we're going to see how we can kind of get some kind of an idea of what this market likes to move through in price and time. So the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to grab my time bar here, and we're going to go from this low point to the high point. So from low to high, we're going to first do our calculations or our cycle counts from low to high. And you can see this is the S&P, and from this low to this high was 39 bars. We're going to go to the next one. We're going to come down here, and we're going to go from this low here to this high. And again, that was about 33 bars. And then we're going to come to the next cycle low. From low to high, we're going to go from low to high again. And that one there was 40 bars. And then we're going to go from low to high, and it's currently sitting at 36 bars. Now, if we go 39, 33, 40, somewhere in there between 35, 40 bars, that's kind of right where we're sitting right now, isn't it? If we go all the way out to 49 bars, we've still got a little bit time left. Let me put that right on there to get that count right. So, but that's about 39, 40 bars out in here is about where we're looking at. So we got a couple more days of upper potential based on the previous cycles. We can also do from low to low, and we can do high to high if we would like. So we can count those as well. I'm not going to belabor that idea. I'll let you go and do those time counts yourself, but you can again do the different time counts from the different time points within the time zones for those cycles. Let's go through and do a time zone retracement back, and we're just going to go back off of this 40-day time frame, and we're going to take our Fibonacci number, and that 34-day is a pretty important day for us in the Fibonacci sequence. So I'm going to put that right on the low of this bar, this 34-day, and you can see where it's reaching out into right now. As you can see, we're right here at about the 34th day out into our cycle top. So I'm going to take this time cycling and just run it back here on the previous time frame, and you can see that we put that 34th Fibonacci time zone on there, right on that low. It came in, it hit this marker right here, it pulled back a little bit, but then it rallied one more time before we got the break on the Bulls and Bears blue lights, as you can see. And these are the breaks right here that we're looking for. So this is drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. You could almost count this as 4 drives, right? Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, drive 4. We generally only get 3 drives. This was kind of a reset pattern in here, so we can almost call it this is drive 1, drive 2, drive 3, and that was our reset in there. So we're up at the third drive. I don't really want to be a real big buyer up here at the top of a third drive. Some of my positions were doing quite well and looking like they were getting ready to reverse. And with the overall S&P looking like it's reaching up into that next time zone for reversal, I didn't want to be long a whole bunch of positions, so I've taken some of these off the table, locked in $1,300 in profit. Still have some additional positions on the table that I'm watching very closely to see how we want to act, how we want to manage those positions as well. So if we come in and we take a look at Apple, let's just start right up here with Apple, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the time zone count. We're just going to go from low to high, and I'm just going to go where these blue lights are counting for us. That's 42. We're going to go from low to high here, from this one to here. That one was 41, and then we're going to go from low to high here, this one to here. And you can see right here where the break is, that's 42. If I go to high, which is right there, that's 34. But I like to go to the break, so right to the break. This is where we're going on these, the high of the break. So that's 42. And now if we go to the next one, we're just going to go from this this low to high, right in here, low to high, and it's sitting at 34. So we've got 40, 42, 41. We got 42, and we're sitting at 34. So if we got a couple more out there to go, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. This is where I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. The market does say it's got a little bit further based on the previous moves of the market, but you can see that this one here started to drift sideways once it got up to, let's go to this high right here. This peak was on 34, and we're right now over here on 34. So 34 is where this one peaked out, then it started to drift sideways, then it fell back, and we got the break of the blue light system. So you can see right in here, same thing. This is where the blue light broke. This is where the blue light broke. Now, we didn't get a full, huge 61.8% retracement on these. The market just has too much strength in it to do that. But we could get a little bit higher retracement on this one. I'm anticipating maybe a little bit more in here before we get a continuation of the uptrend. I'm not a doomsdayist. I don't believe the market's going to crash and fall all the way to zero. I believe we're going to still see a lot of upside potential in these markets. It's just that we do have to have some digestion in here. We do have to have some profit taking. And it seems that in this cycle, the big money likes to move their money around 42 days, 42, 41, 34, 34. And that's where we're at right now. Again, if we take that out to the break, all the way out to that break, that's 42. And then we would take this one out somewhere between right now and 42 is kind of where we're looking, right up in this region. We're looking for this market to give us a pullback. Now, the blue light would have to intercept. So a little bit of a sideways in here, a little bit of a pullback. That blue light needs to intercept and break just like we did here in the past, but that's kind of what we're looking at on Apple. If we go and we look at Microsoft, we do the same thing. Now, Microsoft had a big, long sideways trend in here. It didn't give us any kind of a pattern at all. It just kind of went sideways, but it did finally break out, and we do have a nice little ABC pattern in here. I almost have 3 drives. That last one's quite small, but it's the 3rd drive pattern. So again, reaching up into the Elliott Wave pattern, if we wanted to count that out, here's our Elliott Wave. We'd come in here, X. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be 5 up in here, 5 A, B, C. And we're going to get some kind of a retracement. Now, how far back that thing goes is anybody's guess. We don't know. This is just that we don't want to be a buyer at the top of a 5th wave, generally speaking, when we're talking about an Elliott Wave. Okay, and so that's why the caution here. We're coming in here. If we draw our trend lines and our breaks, you can see the breaks in here, break 1, break 2 with those lights, and those were our new count or our new drive. We'll just go from the low right here to the high. And you can see that's right around 26 days. We're going to go to the next one. From this low to the next high, that was 22 days. And then in here from this low to this high, it's only 12 days. So it's getting smaller and smaller. If we go out to around 20 days, we still got a little bit of upside potential in here as well. But that's kind of how this market's moving out, 26, 22, and we're sitting at 12 right now. So those are the time counts, time waves here on Microsoft. The overall longer-term market, again, looking at a 40-day to 39 to 40-day time frame, and we're getting very close to that right now, looking for another rebound or a pullback to digest this last 3 drive pattern.